They want me to take this medication that's going to make me feel sick for 24 hours. And I have to take this shot of medication for every 48 hours. The nurse came into the house, taught me how to do the shot. My husband and I were sitting there together. She showed us the syringe and how to put it in the leg or in the butt or whatever it was. And when she left, I was bawling. I said, I can't do this. This is too much for me. I don't want to feel sick.
Thanks for coming back to the podcast or YouTube. I've got both channels. So I'm going to introduce Angel Martin, who healed her MS diagnosis. And she's got an incredible story. I want you to hear it. So Angel, thank you for being my guest today.
Well, thank you, Adrienne, for inviting me. This is really exciting. I didn't really get to share my story a lot, so this is a great opportunity to do this.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here because everybody is going to get some really great information and learn how to heal themselves. So tell me how this all started for you. Tell me how old you were and what symptoms you started having.
Okay, I was in my mid-30s when I was diagnosed back in 2006. I had numbing and tingling in my feet and hands. I was teaching fitness. So I'd been teaching fitness for 10 years, raising 2 kids. My daughter was 10, my son was like 7, and, pretty busy mom, getting through all the classes. I was teaching like 8 to 10 classes a week. And with the symptoms I had, well, is it my shoes are too tight? Is it because I'm overextending myself? I'm tired a lot. Is this because I'm just pushing myself too hard? Just kind of shoving it down. This is a mom's life. This is what you do. But then when it started going all the way up the side of my body and kind of going into my face, I could get that tingling in my head. Like, I couldn't feel my scalp. I thought, I should probably go to the doctor. So I went to my regular doctor and he said, this is what I think it could be. It could be MS, but I don't want you to get scared. Let's just do an MRI. And I said, okay, fine. Let's do that. Well, it came back. I had 19 lesions. And he said, it looks like it's pretty active right now because of the symptoms that you're having and the severity that they saw where the lesions were in my brain. And I said, okay, but can I have a second opinion? He goes, of course. So I went to a different neurologist and had them look at the scan. They came back with the same diagnosis. And I said, well, I want to go to Arizona and go to the Mayo Clinic. I think I need to have that third person tell me that this is what I need to do. And they said exactly the same thing, but they all had different ways of treating it. And so when I came back to Portland, where I was living at the time, I said, okay, they want me to take this medication that's going to make me feel sick for 24 hours. And I have to take this shot of medication for every 48 hours. The nurse came into the house, taught me how to do the shot. My husband and I were sitting there together. She showed us the syringe and how to put it in the leg or in the butt or whatever it was. And when she left, I was bawling. I said, I can't do this. This is too much for me. I don't want to feel sick. I don't feel sick right now. Yes, I have these symptoms and I can have them go away when I'm not stressed out and not teaching a lot. So for me, I decided, my boss at Nike, I was teaching classes at Nike. She came to me and said, Angel, I know that you have to give up your classes for right now, but I want to tell you, I want you to go see this naturopath. This doctor, she had some kind of cyst or something on her ovary, and this doctor decreased the size of that cyst so that she didn't have to have her ovary removed. She goes, I want you to go see her and maybe she can help you with this. I said, you know what? I'm willing to try anything at this point because this is not the road I want to go down, is the medication that they're trying to force upon me, because that's the only way that I could live my life, is what they told me.
So I would have to before you go on, how were you shocked when you got your diagnosis?
I was, but I'm also the type of person that if I have a problem, I just go and fix it. I don't sit around. I'm not a worrier, so I don't sit around and say, oh no, what am I going to do? I just take it by the bull by the horns and I go and take care of it. And so that's what I kind of did.
So, and that's pretty amazing that you decided not to take that syringe, that medication,
Right.
what, 2 days, 48 hours.
Yeah, every
Um,
48 hours.
there's a lot of people that suffered through that. So
Yeah,
thank God that you had your wits about you to say, you know what, this isn't right. This is going to cause me to be sick, which shouldn't happen, right? This should be helping
right,
you. At least the
right,
doctor's prescribing that to you, and it's supposed to be helping you.
right. And I
So,
had two options. They gave me two options. I could do this one or this one, and they both had kind of the same effects. And I'm like, I don't feel any kind of living in that option. I
yeah,
had two young kids that I had to, get through middle school to high school there's no way that I could have done that.
yeah, that's
Sorry,
crazy.
mom's in bed again. No, yeah, I couldn't do that to them.
Yeah, yeah,
So I, researched a lot through books and learned about diet, nutrition, but the naturopath, she pretty much guided me through my healing journey.
hmm,
And back then, 20 years ago, MS was kind of known as being environmental. So if you look at your environment, what are you living in? I was living in the Pacific Northwest. It was gray, 70% of the year. So sunlight wasn't a huge thing. Natural vitamin D, I was low in. And I think that back then, like 80% of the MS cases were from the Pacific Northwest. So
interesting.
because of the rain and no sunlight. And I decided, okay, if I can, my naturopath said, you can change your diet. We're going to take away these 5 different things: gluten, sugar, caffeine, alcohol, and dairy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the 5 major things that people are usually allergic to, or
inflammation
yeah, some kind of
items. Yeah,
inflammation in the body. So I did that for 2 years, and she also gave me supplements that would help my immune system become stronger. I would go and see her every 2 months, and she would, give me kind of a different protocol depending upon what my body was doing at that time. And I was also seeing my neurologist every 3 to 6 months during
okay.
that 7-year period. And they noticed that my lesions were going down, my symptoms were disappearing, and my symptoms disappeared within the first year. So I did change the way that I did my business. So instead of going and teaching fitness classes at these gyms that I did, I took it into my own hand and say, okay, I can teach to a group of people, but I physically don't have to do it. I couldn't do that necessarily in a gym setting, but I could do that on my own setting. So I went to parks. I rented different facilities so that I could teach like boot camps. So then I started building my own business that I could still teach, but I didn't physically have to hurt my body or drain my body doing that.
Uh,
Because of my MS diagnosis, I felt I couldn't do that anymore because that's what they told me.
sure.
They said, don't stress your body out because that's going to make the symptoms come back.
Right. Okay, I've got some questions.
Yeah,
So when you went to go see the naturopath, did she do testing on you?
she did. She was actually from Spain, and she did a blood test, and I had like a 27-page thing that I filled out. I think it kind of asked you the same questions over and over again, all different ways, just to make
Mhm.
sure that that's how your body is responding and how you live your lifestyle. It was a lot of mental stuff, if you hold on to emotions, those kind of things, because that all affected the
Yes,
outcome.
that's so great because your doctor won't tell you anything about emotions or
No,
mental.
not at all.
Yeah,
None.
good. So
Yeah.
what kind of testing was it a blood test only? Or of course she asked you about your lifestyle, right?
Hmm. Well,
Um,
coming from Spain, she sent that test back to Spain because it wasn't something they did in the US.
okay.
And so she would get the results, and then she would tell me what it is. And then she would kind of work on the protocols that she would be giving me. And she did acupuncture every time I saw her as well.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
she had a bag of tricks she was
she
helping
was.
you with.
She was amazing. Yeah. I even
Awesome.
had my kids go to her once they started getting sick and getting older. They went and saw her instead of the regular doctor.
So do you remember what supplements you were first taking with her?
Oh gosh, there was so many. They were like tinctures and bags of dried mushrooms I would have to boil on the stove,
Wow.
and it would make our whole house smell like awful. My kids were like, "Mom, what are you boiling today?" So it was very woo-hoo, witchy kind of feel, but whatever it was, it worked.
Nice.
Yeah. So a lot of black licorice, things that were detoxing the body
Oh,
naturally.
great. So definitely kind of more on the herbal side, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And then I'm sure you figured out vitamin D,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Did she have you on that protocol too?
Yep. So as my symptoms got less and she was working mostly on my gut, she then would notice, okay, with the symptoms that I was coming in with, still being tired, little brain foggy, she would then give me iron or, depending on the blood tests that came back,
Mhm.
vitamin D, vitamin C, all the
Sure.
different vitamins.
Depending
But
on
she,
where you were at that time.
yeah, and she also always encouraged me to get that through my food. So making sure that I was really eating whole foods, whole natural
Right.
foods, and then going gluten-free, way back then, they didn't
Uh-huh.
have gluten-free bread, or if they did, it was really
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, right. Probably tasted like cardboard.
Yes, so I just, I ate whole foods, mostly
Yeah.
meats and grains and vegetables.
So gluten-free grains,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fruits like berries or
Yep.
okay. So what about or what did you find out about your mental health? Like any traumas that you had to heal, anything like that?
That's probably something I still haven't faced really well because I was so focused on being able to be there for my family that my mom and dad both passed away within a year of each other back in like 2014 and 15. And I
Mhm.
think I'm still kind of trying to process that as well.
Sure.
So I don't know that I'm the best person to ask about that.
Well, I have the feeling that you've worked on your self-care though, right?
Oh,
Because your
absolutely. Yes.
story sounds a lot like Tracy Hill's to me, actually. So
Hmm.
she was an athlete and she was doing a lot of training and she didn't give herself a lot of rest time.
Yes.
And it sounds like you were kind of like go, 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 and then
Hmm.
being a mom, that's what, and this is the reason why most of us with MS are female because 80% of people that have MS or an autoimmune condition are female. And it's because
Yes.
we give too much. We don't self care enough. And it
Hmm.
sounds like that's kind of where you were at.
Yeah. Yeah. And taking my family through the whole, changing the environment scene.
Mhm.
So we went from having chemical kind of cleaners in our house to all natural organic cleaners,
Right.
shampoos, lotions, body wash, all of that, makeup, everything,
Yes.
at least on my body that was going on my body was 100% natural.
I
And
love
so
that.
there's many years that I didn't even wear makeup because they didn't have that kind of stuff back then.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. And I learned that too. Like anything you put on your skin
Hmm.
drinks it in and it goes into
Yeah.
your bloodstream. And there's so many
Yeah.
toxic products out there, like lotions, perfumes, like you said, makeup,
Yeah.
laundry soaps, like things we don't really think about.
Hmm.
So
So
that's
I
so
turned
great.
to, yeah, essential oils was something that I turned to and
Yeah.
use and still use to this day,
Yeah.
for cleaning and for aromatherapy and
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
yeah.
So what kind of lotions, for example, do you use or oils on your
Yeah, I
skin?
use mostly oils.
Okay.
I can make my own oils with the essential oils that I use.
I love that. And this is what I'm getting from you is that you cut down your exercising a little bit because you were teaching probably like a mad woman, right?
Yes.
Your exercise classes. And I have a feeling that you've cut that down a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of forced to. I was also, as a trainer working for body training systems, I was traveling the nation teaching other instructors how to teach a pre-choreographed class. So I
Mhm.
think that was also a part of it. I was working on the weekends, traveling away from the family, working 2 full days of presenting and then flying back home and then, being mom again,
Yeah.
jumping right back into teaching my normal classes and then, raising the kids and having a
Yeah.
family.
It sounds like that was pretty stressful on you.
Yeah, I loved it though. I mean, I lived in a chaotic world and I thrived in it. And so when things started slowing down, I think that's when it was a little harder for me because then I had to sit in it a little longer. And I'm like, oof. Yeah,
So now you find joy in pickleball.
I do. Yes. My husband and we found pickleball during COVID. He was a basketball coach and I had my own gym running at the time, and things had to close down. So we came to Arizona. We had a house here in Arizona and found pickleball, and we've kind of got to just run with it. He now, played professional pickleball for a team out of California, and we coach camps. We travel the country now together, teaching clinics and camps. So we always have something in the fire going that we are doing together.
But
So
you
it's
enjoy
great.
it now. It's not like a
We
grind.
do it. And what's great is that, I feel like I work harder now on the pickleball court than I ever did the 20 years of having MS in my fitness career,
Wow.
because I was so worried that, oh my gosh, this is going to come back. Well, I now support my body with frequency healing, and that's, I think, what really kind of turned the corner for me, that I can push myself again.
Okay, explain that. Your healing, frequency healing.
I came in contact with frequency charged nutritional products,
Okay.
and they help realign your, frequency in your body. So I wear jewelry that's frequency tuned. I have products that I take that have frequency in them, so that it naturally just aligns your body back to its normal state. So if things start to, get off kilter, it'll kick you right back to normal.
So tell us how you learned about that.
That was a year ago, a little over a year ago. I came down with mold illness, of all things. I didn't
Oh,
even know that was a thing. And I went to a functional health doctor, and she said, because I thought I was just going through menopause, like all the other women in my age. And because I was fatigued, brain fog, I just didn't have any motivation. I was gaining weight, all the things that menopause offers. And she says, well, I think this is more mold for you than it is menopausal, because I had a hysterectomy a couple years ago, which was forced upon me. That's a whole nother story. But I went down this rabbit hole on Instagram and found Jenna Tomer, and she was talking about frequency tuned nutrition because she had mold. Her whole entire family had mold. They moved out of the house. I mean, and this product that she was using really helped her and her family. And I said, I need to get a hold of that. And ever since I've been on it, my life has turned around.
wow. So did you
Yeah.
find out you had mold in your house?
Yes, we did.
How did
Yeah,
you find that out?
well, we moved from Portland to Vancouver, and it was a remodel. So I think the house was built in 1970 and it was remodeled. She was a flipper. The real estate agent just flips houses. And the people that she hired to do the construction didn't seal the shower heads of both showers. And so we come to Arizona for half the year and then we go back. Our son was living in the house while we were here in Arizona and came back, and it just smelt musty. And then somebody had found some black mold in one of the closets behind one of the shower heads. And so we had them come in, take care of it. They had to take care of underneath the house as well.
Mitigate it, right?
Yeah, they had to take care of all of that.
Mhm.
But I was the only one in the four of us that were living in the house at the time that got really affected by it.
So what was it that you took that helped you feel better?
I went through the whole protocol that my functional health doctor gave me, but I came out of that protocol feeling depleted because I was still taking activated charcoal, and, I was still taking glutathione and this nasal spray that just made me wacky because it was just stirring everything up.
Uh,
So I said, I've been doing this for 9 months and I still feel depleted. I feel like I need to focus on something else. And that's when I found Frequence is the name of the company, and frequency charged nutrition. And the first day I took it, it was like a light bulb went on in my head. I cleaned my entire house. I cleaned out the garage. My daughter was getting ready to move to Idaho. I helped her pack all her stuff up. And this was all in one day.
wow.
Whereas I couldn't even imagine doing that in a week, the week before. So to me, I felt like it was not so much the nutritional part of it, it was the frequency part of it that helped me. And I won't go back. I won't ever stop taking them.
Okay, so give us more details on that. So is it like vitamin type of things or things you
It's
wear or what is
there's
it?
a bunch of them. There's a nootropic mushroom blend. So there's 7 organic mushrooms
Okay.
in this blend with nootropics, and the frequency is tuned on a little disc on the container. And so that then gets into that powder. It's also got methylated B, some amino acids, and You put it in water and you drink it. So, you've heard of Rise Coffee and Ohm Coffee. They're mushroom coffees.
Sure.
This is similar to that, but it's a mango flavored like lemonade.
Okay.
And the frequency charge part of it, I think, is really what helped me. And then they have Source, which is 72 trace mineral supplement that's got fulvic in it that helps you detox on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They've got a reverse. I mean, there's other products that you can take that also have the frequency charge attached to it, but it's offering something more in your supplemental needs if you choose to go down that road.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found that. I'm always learning, right? I mean, every time I talk to somebody who healed themselves, I learn something new. Like you would think that I know it all, but no, I don't.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I have a friend who also, her name is Tracy Casau. She put on the Frequency 2 necklace. She has MS and had been off and on in her scooter, not able to walk like through Costco or through a store. She put the necklace on and within an hour she was walking in Costco.
Wow.
Yeah. So frequency is a thing. People just don't realize how strong and powerful it is.
That's amazing. You need to talk to Tracy Hill. Remember? So your story.
I wrote her name down. Yes.
And she teaches frequency healing. So yeah, you need to talk to her.
I will.
That's amazing. Okay. So it took you, did you say about a year until your numbness and your tingling symptoms vanished?
Yes. I think that what she did is help clean out my gut, get all the toxins out. It took me a good year and a half. I did her protocol for 2 years straight. Sure. And I was coming out of that, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I felt like I got my life back, but I still was fatigued, still had some of the brain fog that you get. You can't think clearly, maybe a little slow, but I was functioning. I could still live life and I felt good about it.
Did you do a parasite cleanse at all?
I never have.
Okay. Just curious.
And it's something I'm learning so much more about now. I think I'm more interested in doing that now than I was way back then.
Yeah. Well, just because of what you were eating and how you were treating your body, you might have done one without realizing it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this is great.
My body just didn't come up with this. There was something out there that either attached to your skin, absorbed into your body. I mean, we are inundated with EMFs, toxins in the air, free radicals every day. And it's hard to stay away from all of that unless you put yourself in a bubble. So if there's some kind of protection that you can add to your regimen of life through a supplement or whatever it is, find out what your environment is and how you can fix that first.
Yeah, I love that. No, I think most of us are overburdened with toxins and don't realize it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's one final message to give to people, because I want to conclude this, you've given us so much information. Just in a couple sentences, what would you say to somebody if they are just starting out on their journey besides detoxing?
That you don't have to become your diagnosis. I mean, it's that simple. At least that was what I look back and I think, you know what? I didn't have to become my diagnosis. If you truly want to live your life the way that you want to live it, you don't listen to somebody who is coming from a textbook or this is their box that they teach out of. Be creative enough to step out of that box and find out for yourself what you're capable of and what you can do with your own body.
Thanks, Angel. It was perfect.
Thank you.